I call them chevrons. I don't know what they are, but the little angle bars in there, it gives it a little added stuff. I wanted to mention that I didn't talk about turning on this gradient. I did a gradient spotlight in here to kind of add a little bit of light into this bottom, give it a little bit of a gradient. So just wanted to make you aware of that. I didn't mention that, but I do want to come over here and create a folder for all these. So I'm going to come in here all the way down to the box. Actually, we're just going to do the words here first. So we're going to create a folder or a group. Command G creates a group, and I'm going to call it top words to distinguish it, because if we have words at the bottom where we're going to have schedules down here and everything, I want to make sure it's distinguished. And then we have the title and the black background box, so I'm going to call this, make that a group and call it words box. Whoops, I didn't double click. You have to double click in here to name it. So words box. Okay, so now I have these, and now I'm going to create these little things that we're going to use. So that is pretty easy, I think, to do. What we're going to do is to go to a marquee tool, the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm just going to create a little thing like this, a little bar like that, and I'm going to fill it with kind of a gray color. So I'm going to do Shift Backspace, opens the fill box, and we're going to go with, maybe we'll go with 50% gray just to see if that works. Oh, I need to create a layer. So let's try again. 50% gray, 50% gray, and now this is full of 50% gray. Well, now all I have to do is copy that a couple of times. So Command J and Command J, and then I can take my move tool, my shift, and I can bring it down here like this, and a little bit of space in between, and grab this one. Oops. One more time. Bring this down. A little space in between, and then go to another layer. That's where I'm messing up. And then bring that down, and we have, if we want to make the exact same space in between, we can create a little bar or something in there, but I don't think that's important. It's just making it close. So that looks pretty close to me. So now what we can do is take all of these and merge them together. So Command E merges them together. Now I have one layer here, and what I can do is take this and call it right side, and I'm going to call it chevrons. I know that's not what it is, but it'll let me know what it is. So now I've got right side, so I'm just going to do a Command J of that, and we're going to call it left side. So oops, already got side in there. Okay, good. So now if I take the left side, I can just do again, move tool, grab my shift, and move this over here. Now I've got two of them, just like that. So what we'll do, I probably should have waited to make that one, but we'll turn it off just to see. Now I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to do a Command T because I want to rotate it. And if you look up here, it gives you how far you're rotating. So I'm going to try to go at a 45-degree angle. So if I just turn it till I get to 45, or I could just type it in up there. But I like doing it the hard way sometimes. So close to 45 is where you want to be. So doesn't have to be exact. There you go, 45-degree angle. Let's just make it exact. So 45-degree angle. I hit enter, enter, and there we go. Here these are at a 45-degree angle. So then I can take these, and I could do the same thing, but I could just copy this and then flip it horizontal, and it would be exact. Or I could just come up here and put, I don't want it to be 45. I want it to be whatever the opposite of 45 is, right? Which is, I guess that's 45. So I'm going 45 the other direction. So if I take this and make it 45, there we go. So now they're both 45 degrees. And I can hit check, and now I have both of them in here. So if I look over here, these are actually not at 45. They look like they're a little lower than 45. So I can make them the same amount. I just need to know what I want to do. So if I come over here, they're going to be faded, and then they're going to be gradated. So, oops. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a guide here so that I can have them exactly the same. And I'm going to move them to, yep, going to move them to be right here where they're on those guides. I'll take this one and do the same thing. Okay, something like that. And now they're exactly the same. What I can do is come in here now and do a gradient. We'll do a gradient for the right one. And we're going to come in here with the gradient tool. Press G to get the gradient tool. You see it's highlighted there. And we're going to come in here. Try to go as much at a 45 as you can and kind of gradate that, but I need to be on black. See, I was on white here. That's why nothing happened. So turn it around to black. One more time. We're going to start just off the edge, come down here, and you should get a gradient like that. Then we're going to do the same thing here, just off the edge. You're going to get a gradient like that. And then what I'm going to do is take, I don't know if I can flip a mask. I don't think so. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to come up here, left side, gradient. We're going to come here just off of there and come up here at about 45, and then we'll go up to the other side just off of it, come down here, and now what we're going to do is take both of these and put them in a group. We'll call it chevrons, and we're going to take the opacity down something like this, way down. And it looks like that they need to be a little bigger. Not that that really matters, but they need to be turned a little bit more too. So I'm going to take the right one. We're going to do a Command T, and I'm going to turn it till it just looks good to me. Something like that. And that's an extra 9.5. So then I'm going to do this one. Command T, and we're going to go 9.5 minus 9.5. Something like that. That's pretty close. So there we go, and those can be actually stretched even more. So if I take it, let's see, stretch it. And stretch it. Something like that. And they look like that they actually need to be brought down even more, from 28 down to like something like that, which is about 18%. So it doesn't look quite the same, but not too bad. I think the color on them may be a little bit different. So if I took the color on those, I did a command like that, I could fill with a darker color rather than 50% gray, which means I could go to color, and instead of right here, I could come down here and get a little bit darker. So that's 103. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Okay, I need to be on this layer. So see, I make those mistakes all the time too. So let's see, color, and at 103 we're going to fill it, and that's going to make it a little darker, which means we're going to need to bring the opacity back up some. So we're going to come here and do the same thing, shift, backspace, color, color, make it a darker gray, okay, and then go back up here and bring the opacity back up some, something like that. So that right one doesn't look as dark. Look, maybe I didn't fill it. I bet I didn't. So we're going to do that again. Whoops. I'll get there. It's just this one. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because I'm on... See, we all make mistakes. Come down here and click. Well, alright. Here's what I'm going to do then. I messed up here because I have both of these selected on this same layer instead. I wanted to have just separate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, Command J. I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw this away. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to do another layer, turn this off, another mask, and I'm just going to erase the left side with the black brush. This is part of the video that you really don't need to see. Pretty ugly. But I'm correcting a mistake I made. So now I'm going to apply this, apply, and now I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it up here, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it away. So now I have what I wanted to have, and I just messed up. Okay, so now the left one looks like it's not, there we go, looks like it has not been color filled properly. Let's see what happens here. That looks a little better. And then if I take and lighten these both up just a touch, they become closer to what I was looking for. So a long way to getting something really easy, making it very difficult, and I apologize for that. But we have those in there now, and if I wanted to, I could stretch them. They look like they might be a little small, so maybe I'll stretch them, but I think I'm going to wait until I get the floor in here the way I want it, because they really kind of all hit the floor. And this one, what we may do is let this one come on down and then let this one come on down, because that's kind of really what happens. I should have done it more as a gradient this way. So actually, let me do that. If I come in here, I'm going to take both of these and throw them out. And do them again, because they really should be that way. So I'm going to come in with a gradient. This is the right side, so I'm going to come in with a gradient, and we're going to go from here and we're going to go up like this. There we go, that's more like it. And then we'll come over here with the same thing. I'm just going to copy it and move it up here. So there we go. So now you have the two gradients, because this is where the floor is going to be. And I may even need to gradiate some more, because that looks like it's not quite there. But there's going to be people here and there's going to be covered up, so I'm not really too worried about it. And the chevrons here should have gone all the way to the top. Let me see the way these are. Yeah, see, well, they're kind of faded out there, so it's more like there is a gradient coming this way, and I may do that too, and then see how that works out. So if we go back, yeah, see, these probably should go up a little further and then have a gradient coming this way to handle those. So I could probably do it that way. So if I take this one more time, let's look at the right side, and if I do a gradient this way, like this, so it's going to have a gradient like that. And then if I go over here and do a gradient this way, it has a gradient like that. So then if I take them both Again, this is something really easy that I'm making really hard, and I do apologize for that. I'm going to take, and I'm going to actually just kind of pull it up like this, and that should take it close to the edges. There we go. So that takes care of that. So then basically what's left before we start putting the girls in is the spotlights, and I can put those in first, I can put those in later, and then there is a little bit of something going on in the background. I'm not really sure what that is. It looks kind of like smoke, and then it looks kind of like, I'm not really sure what it is. I'll have to investigate that a little bit more, but basically it looks like the spotlights and then the schedule down here at the bottom along with the logo, and then start putting the girls in. But I can put the girls in at any time, so that's something that I may think about whatever I do next. But this is not too bad. We've got a pretty good start. We put the girls in here. I think we're going to do just fine. So I think that we'll begin to look at the spotlights next.